Welcome to School's Out 80s Comedy Story Time.
Hey everybody, it's John the Sales Warrior coming to you all the way from Dallas, welcoming you to another episode of School's Out 80s Comedy Storytime. Got a really special guest here today, coming to you all the way from Perth Amboy, New York, Mr. Sal Mozzarella. Say howdy to everybody on School's Out 80s.
What's up, everybody? It's Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
Oh yeah, sorry. Perth Amboy.
That's all right.
Okay, Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Cool. Okay. So let's talk this through, Sal. So we call this show School's Out 80s Comedy Story Time. And the reason we do is because, you know, the 80s were a blast. And I'm sure you had a blast in the 80s. When you think about like high school, do you got a story maybe from high school that just kind of sticks out in your mind that needs to come out?
High school. The only thing I could say about high school is that the school I went to was called New Utrecht High School.
Uh-huh.
And that's the school that was used for the comedy Welcome Back, Kotter.
Oh, really?
So if you remember that show,
I do.
You could picture the school pretty much like that.
Yeah.
You know?
I bet so. Wow.
It was just a free for all.
Okay. So you were going to school in the 80s. Welcome Back, Kotter was in like the mid to late 70s, I think.
Yes.
So did they have any like pictures from Welcome Back, Kotter like on the walls or anything like that?
Did they have any pictures on the wall?
Yeah. They show any pictures or anything? Were they proud of being on Welcome Back, Kotter?
No.
No? Okay. I got you. Well, and so when you think about like high school, you think about dating and stuff like that. You got any funny stories about like dating in high school, Sal, that are maybe clean that you can share with everybody, particular to the 80s?
Yeah, dating, but there's one that I just remembered when you brought up about the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we were in driver's ed. Okay. We had a teacher. I'm not gonna say his name, but you know, we'd all get in the car, and he would let us take turns driving. But one day, he made us all give him money. He asked for the money from everybody. And he made another kid drive to the store after he collected the money. And he went and bought beer. We went somewhere to drink the beer. He goes, "You're going to do this anyway, so I might as well show you how to do it." You know? This was the driver's ed teacher.
Yeah. Did he last long at the school?
Yeah, he lasted there a long time. He was actually pretty cool.
Wow. Interesting. That's funny. So you drank the beer with the
teacher.
The driver's ed. So yeah, with the teacher. So was that during school that you guys were doing that?
Yeah. It was driver's ed class.
So
it was driver's ed class.
Yeah. Did you guys actually do driver's ed? I mean, were people driving and you were drinking?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not telling anybody. I'm just like, that's funny.
It's a long time ago, so if there's a problem, it's well.
Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So the
Back then
driver's ed
it
teacher.
was a different time back then. Now you can't do nothing without getting in trouble. You can't even
Oh
sneeze
yeah,
without getting in
no.
trouble.
Wow, what a cool guy. Was he one of the younger teachers?
Actually, no. He was probably
Gotcha.
one of the older teachers,
Uh-huh.
you know.
So, so when you guys were doing driver's ed, and was it like a driver's ed car where like he could slam on the brakes if the kid didn't know what he was doing?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I do
Okay.
know it was like I'm pretty sure it was like a K car. You remember the K cars?
I kind of do, yeah.
The
Yeah.
Series K car.
Uh-huh.
It was kind of square.
Okay. So so you guys are driver's ed, you're drinking the beer, you're hanging out with your teacher who bought you the beer. And so it was, I mean, this was years ago, so you probably don't remember, but did you guys practice like pulling into a 7-Eleven or something to have to relieve yourselves, or did you guys just wait until class was over?
Nah, we just waited till class was over.
Okay, got it.
We
That's a
drove
good
around.
story
We
though.
took turns driving around.
Sure, sure.
Just the fact that the teacher was letting us do this was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people are just getting to know you on my show. So you go by Sal Mozzarella and Mozzarella, right? Mozzarella. Am I saying it right?
Yeah. However you like. Don't worry about
Okay.
it.
I want to say it right. Okay. So so you're known as the cheese maker, and did you start doing that like right out of high school, or did you? How long before you started being the cheese maker?
Well, I got into the food business because my mother had gotten me a job when I was a kid, because
Mm-hmm.
she already knew I was going to be a pain in the ass. And she saw that school wasn't my thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So one day at the dinner table, she said, by the way, I got you a job. And I was like, but I didn't ask for a job.
Right.
And she was like, that's good. You start Saturday, you know? And I've been in the food business ever since I'm a little
Okay.
kid, and I've
Yeah.
always, and the first job, it was an Italian specialty store,
Oh wow.
you know, and
Oh
working for this guy, he was just as a hard ass as well.
yeah.
So, I guess that was the lesson then,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
we made everything from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned all these things along the way. And
Wow.
I'm pretty known for my mozzarella making,
Yeah.
and that's how the name stuck.
Yeah. 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 That's a great. I mean, man, it's a great name, and you can't beat it. But
Well,
okay,
I
so you
gave
get.
up. I gave up explaining my real name because everybody just assumes this is my name. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. No.
you
Yeah.
know,
No. That's awesome. So okay, so you started in the food business early on. So was that in like the mid '80s that you were getting into the food business?
pretty much.
Okay. And
I
in
ended
New
up. I ended
Jersey,
up.
yeah, go ahead.
I ended up leaving school and just going to work full time.
Yeah, sure, no worries. So was that in New York that you started in the food business?
Yeah, in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn.
Okay, Brooklyn. Okay, gotcha. Okay, and so you learned how to do all the specialty like preps and things like that for the Italian meats and the cheeses
Right.
and
I'm
everything.
I'm actually a butcher by trade.
Uh-huh.
And everything that I learned everything from scratch. You
Yeah,
know. Now today, a lot of stuff comes already prepared.
sure.
Some people just open it and resell it, where we made everything from scratch.
Wow. So got to ask this. So you're in Brooklyn. You're obviously in a place that's going to attract a lot of people of means, I'm sure, that like good Italian specialty food. Any wise guys come in and need some hard salami or some fresh
All the
mozzarella
time, all
all
the
the time?
time.
Any famous mobsters that like people might know their names?
I don't know their names.
Okay.
I know their wives used to come because they used to bring it to them when they were away on vacation.
Ah, got it. And by vacation, you mean
Yeah.
behind the pearly bars.
Yeah. Camp.
Camp, yeah, got it. That's greatness.
You know, because back then you could still bring it, you know?
Yeah.
Like in the movie, you know, like in the movie Goodfellas when the wife brings him the salami and everything.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much like that.
That's awesome.
I would wrap everything a certain way so they could get it in there.
Yeah. That's greatness. So so you were telling me when we spoke earlier this week, Sal, we were talking about maybe some famous people. You've met a lot of famous people, but the Bon Jovi family came up, and of course you mentioned you hadn't met John, but you mentioned you met his whole family. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, well, their family is involved in they give back to the community a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they have this restaurant where the money gets donated. You pay what you feel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I've heard of that.
And it gets donated to this cause, their cause. You know.
Yeah.
So that's where I met his family at the food show one time. And we were talking.
I got you. That's interesting. So so when you say his family, how many folks are we talking about? Like is his dad still living? Because John's
his brother, his father.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, his dad's got to be like late 80s, right?
I guess I haven't seen him in a long time.
Long time.
So I'm really not sure what his status is.
Okay. I was just curious, but that's cool. So the Bon Jovi family, they give a lot back to the community. I think a lot of people have heard about John Bon Jovi's restaurant. I don't know that they knew that the rest of the family was involved in it, but I'd heard that before, that he had like a pay as you see it place.
Yeah. Yeah, and they have also their own brand of product also.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know.
That's yeah. Man, what a great band, Bon Jovi. Are you a Bon Jovi fan?
I like a couple of his songs.
Yeah. He's talented dude.
But if you meet anybody in Sayville, New Jersey, that's all they say. Oh, I went to school with Bon Jovi.
That's funny.
That's where he's from.
Yeah. Well, and if you meet some old timers in Dallas, where I'm at, everybody's all about Stevie Ray Vaughan. Oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan used to come into my bar. Stevie Ray Vaughan used to eat dinner here. Stevie Ray Vaughan's girlfriend used to sit right here. Everything Stevie Ray Vaughan. So everybody's always proud of their own local celebrities and local heroes. So I'm curious. I mean, like you're in New York at the beginning of the 80s. You're in Brooklyn, and so did you see some of the really big bands of the day back then? Did you see Kiss or any of the big New York bands or any?
Well, I used to live by L'Amour's.
Okay.
And groups like Twisted Sister. And the Ramones and all these people used to go there.
Oh wow.
So that's what groups like that, Slayer.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the thing.
Sure.
If you know about L'Amour's was an awesome rock club.
Oh, okay. So the Ramones, man, that had to have been cool. Do you remember which Ramones you might have run into?
No, probably Joey.
Yeah. Okay.
And also I used to be a chef at a restaurant called the Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Roadhouse America was in the city across the street, Roselands.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and the Roadhouse was kind of like like that Route 52. What is that Route?
Like Route
Feel?
56?
Yeah, Route 56 there.
Yeah.
So all the walls were decorated with street signs and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But it was a place where a lot of bands and musicians used to play there and get their start at.
Okay.
Because the place was known for like going to get a nice burger, a nice steak, but listening to the music because there would be a lot of live performers there.
Oh, cool. Now, what was it called again?
The Roadhouse.
The Roadhouse.
Okay. Then it was called Roadhouse America.
Got it. And where was it at?
It was on 52nd in Manhattan. It was right across the street, Roselands.
Got it. Okay. What bands would I know that might have?
Eric Clapton played there.
Okay.
I met the guys from the Village People there.
Oh, wow.
Specifically the Indian. There's a lot of performers came through there.
Yeah, I bet.
Because then upstairs and the building was 4 floors,
Sure.
And on the second floor, there was more seating. The third floor was like where all the musicians hung out, wrote their names on the wall and stuff, and got high.
Yeah.
The fourth floor was, forget about it. It was just abandoned.
Okay. So Twisted Sister, you can't think of a bigger name back in the 80s than Twisted Sister. It's almost synonymous with the 80s. So I know Twisted Sister was like huge in the New York and New Jersey area and Pennsylvania area. So was that a band that you saw quite a few times growing up?
Yeah, that was a band that everybody from the neighborhood liked,
Yeah. But
I was an undercover rocker, I dressed like a cousine, but I listened to metal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have the long hair.
Right.
I would have caught a beating anyway if I had long hair. My father would have beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, I understand. That's man, that's got to be really cool. So I knew that like Twisted Sister, before they got on like MTV, before they had an album or anything, they were huge in the New York area. Like I've seen them interviewed, and they were saying that they were making like great money just doing like New York, the state of New York, anywhere they could there, state of New Jersey, anywhere they could play there, over in Pennsylvania, anywhere they could play there. And then they also said like a lot of famous up and coming bands would come to watch them to see how they were doing it.
Yeah. Back in the late 70s and in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was, New York was like, forget it, the center of everything.
Sure.
They had all the best clubs, all the best places to go to.
Right.
Whether it was rock, disco, whatever it was, the best clubs.
Yeah. Did you ever meet Dee Snider?
No. I never met him or the group like personally.
Yeah. I was just wondering. Nah, no worries. But you're a bit of an actor yourself. Like when you're not being a chef and running your catering business, Sal, you've done some acting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I was young, I was in a commercial for Italian TV, for a local store.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn.
Okay.
But then I've done quite a few cooking shows, and I've been in a lot of food shows.
Okay.
On all different channels, with a variety of people,
Yeah.
And I'm in the movie with Good Friday.
Yeah.
With Sal and everybody.
Yeah.
And I play myself.
Okay.
I can't mess that up.
That's great. So,
and,
are you catering like in the movie Good Friday? Are you the caterer?
I'm doing both.
Okay.
I got little scenes here and there,
but
I'm also doing the food for everybody as well.
Oh, nice. Nice. We when I was in New York last summer visiting Sal, I got to be in the movie. So I'm in the movie for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool. We did it in downtown Corona, New York.
Yeah, we were there too.
Yeah, were you there the day I was there or no?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either. I was
because
I remember
we were
seeing
all over the place.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. So Sal, when you think back to the '80s, does anything like hit you that was a lot different or better in the '80s than like how things are today?
The music, respect. There's a lot of things different.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about, though, in the restaurant business, some of the restaurants that you've worked in, have they had bars?
Yeah.
So have you guys ever had to, like, forcefully get somebody out of the bar because they just, need to go home now?
Not really, but I'll tell you a funny story. One time in the pork store,
Yeah.
a guy, he was so drunk, he was in the store and he wanted to order a sandwich.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden he just started spinning around and came crashing through the glass showcase.
Oh my God.
And the shelves.
Oh.
Because he couldn't even stand up.
Oh my God. What? Like, do you remember what were in those shelves?
Yeah, it was all products, all imported products.
Was it any raw meat or anything like that? Or was it?
No, it was just like jarred stuff.
Oh.
There's retail stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
It was just he came down like a ton of bricks.
So did you guys have to call an ambulance?
Yeah, because we couldn't get him up.
Man. And did he have shards of glass in him?
I don't remember that, but I know he was cut up.
Wow.
He was a big guy.
Oh man, I'm telling you, to survive that. So did he ever come back in, or was he just disgraced after that point?
It was just he probably don't even remember going there.
He might have just got off on the wrong exit, man. That's wild. So in your restaurants, a lot of famous people, I'm sure, have dined in the restaurants you've worked in. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Anybody you could throw out there that, or stories surrounding them that might be of interest to the folks? Doesn't have to be in the 80s.
Well, like I was telling you, one of the coolest people I had dinner with was Al Lewis, Grandpa from the Monsters.
Oh yeah.
Sure. He's a pretty funny guy. He's a little raunchy, Yeah. But he was known for that.
Yeah. So Al Lewis was like his stage name, right?
Yeah.
So was he an Italian guy?
I don't remember. Okay. All I know is the fact that I actually had dinner with him. I cooked him dinner, and then I sat down and had dinner with him. Was pretty cool enough.
Oh heck yeah! Do you remember anything he said to you that night?
No.
Yeah, I was curious. How could you?
Like man? I said, it was just a whole fact. It was just a normal conversation.
Yeah. Wow. So, is he from New York? Was he from New York?
I'm not sure.
Any other like folks you can think of, Sal, that might be interesting for us to mention to folks, or any stories you can think of?
In what aspect? Actors?
Just, every day in your business, funny things that happen. I mean, certainly having somebody crash through the, I guess it wasn't the meat counter, but it was the glass counter that carried a lot of.
Well, I could tell you something funny that happened a couple of weeks ago.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
We had a buffet going. It was a barbecue buffet.
Right.
And someone told one of the staff members the ketchup wasn't coming out of the bottle fast enough. Can you do something about it?
Okay.
You know, what do you tell this person?
I don't know. What'd you guys tell them?
They said it was holding up the line.
Okay.
And all I did was tell them, you don't remember the commercial with anticipation? You know, you had to be there. You know, I thought it was hysterical because I'm like, this is what we're complaining about. The ketchup is not moving fast enough.
Right, right. Which in the 80s was a positive.
Yeah.
It showed like how good the ketchup was, and it took so thick and rich and delicious. It took forever to come out of the bottle.
Right, and now it's not fast enough.
Yeah, and I'm not a food service guy, but when ketchup really comes out fast, isn't it starting to go bad?
Yeah, means it's watered down or something. It's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I worked in restaurants, and man, for whatever reason, the condiments were like gold. Like you had to treat those bottles of ketchup, get those things looking beautiful for the next customer. We washed the caps. We cleaned the inside of the bottle. If we had a ketchup container that had a little ketchup in it from 4 ketchup containers, we took those and poured it into another one to make one full ketchup container. I mean, those ketchup bottles were treated better than the employees, Sal.
Oh man.
I mean, the tender loving care they gave to those things. I can still remember seeing the bowl with the hot water as we were soaking the caps from the ketchup bottles, because we just had to get them pristine. And then when I was a waiter, when they checked your station, the very first thing they would do is go to the mustard and go to the ketchup, take the cap off and look at it. And if it was just spotless, great. If it wasn't, do it over. It was like the military, man. And I wasn't in the military, but just something from my past.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, but I don't even do that, you know?
Oh, yeah. No, I hear you.
I don't even do that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. The other thing that I ran into in the 80s, and the kids don't deal with this because they had the computer. When I waited tables, we had to add everything up on an adding machine. So you go to this customer, he wants a hamburger, French fries. You had to know the cost of the hamburger, the cost of the French fries, unless it came as a combo. You had to know exactly what the soda cost. Everything you had to know, you had to have it memorized, or you kept like a little cheat sheet in your pocket with what the prices were. None of this in a computer going, oh, you had a hamburger, 2 hamburgers, a Diet Coke. No. It was all by hand, and it was all by memory. And here was the real tough thing, Sal. If they ordered dessert, like most waiters, you want the table to order more stuff. You want them to order dessert. We used to get bonuses based upon having a big table ring. And the problem, though, in the 80s, though, when you didn't have the computer, if they ordered dessert, we didn't have anything saved. And so you either had to take your last one and, refigure it out, which is what most of us did. We just went and created it all over again. They didn't want you to add on the dessert. They wanted it to be a clean ticket for the customer and for the host when they rang out. So that means that you started from scratch. So the 2-3 hamburgers or whatever, everything was re-put in there. And then the piece of pie for $5 or whatever it was, or $3.50, had to be added in there. And then boom, then you had to figure the tax. And then you got, back then, Reagan put this deal in where it didn't matter if I got tipped or not. In the 80s, Reagan put this thing in. I got taxed on my tips, whether I got tipped or not.
I came into the restaurants a little bit later on.
I got you.
I worked mostly in pork stores.
Yeah.
You know, specialty shops.
Well, in being a professional butcher, I mean, you're constantly having to weigh meat, cut meat, get it right for the customer, what have you, and
cut my fingers,
cut your fingers, and two, like you had to know the prices, right? Computer wasn't doing it.
Yeah, you had to know how to weigh, subtract, add. People don't know how to do this today. They need a machine.
Yeah. Anybody, you ever see anybody like fat finger the either give the customer too little or too much, and ever see anything like that?
What do you mean?
Well, like as you're measuring the meat, you ever see anybody like I don't know, dishonestly give them the meat or anything like that?
Oh, you mean like fix the scale?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I got you. So yeah, all you got to do to fix the scale though is just like put something heavy on the scale with the meat, and then they're paying for what's heavy, right?
Yeah, there's so many tricks.
Yeah,
there's so many tricks that people used to do, in this business.
Okay, so that's a good thing to talk about. Tell us about all the tricks that people used to do in the meat weighing business.
Well, there was one that, like let's say somebody ordered a pound of veal cutlets.
Yeah.
And there was a butcher. He used to throw the veal cutlets on the scale, but when he took them off the scale, one or two of them would disappear. He would have a little bucket on the side.
Okay. This reminds me of a story from the life of Dean Martin. So do you know what Dean Martin did before he was a world famous singer and actor with he became huge, but do you know what he did prior to all that?
Actually, no.
He dealt blackjack. He was a blackjack dealer. And so they said that what Dean used to do to very similar to what you're talking about is as he was dealing with the monies or whatever, he'd have a loafer on, leather loafer on, and it would be cockeyed, not all the way on, and he would just flip a coin into his loafer, put his foot back in, and walk out the door with some of the profits for the day.
Yeah, I had a pizza guy like that worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah, he used to get the money from the customer and then crumble it up in a little bowl and throw it in the garbage, and then every 2 minutes, I got to go throw the garbage out.
He was skimming.
Yeah. Instead of the money going in the register, he was throwing it in the little pail that was underneath the register.
Interesting. Yeah, man. Did he last long? So you caught him, right?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Yeah. It wasn't good.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
There's, I was like, it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do. So you had to go toe to toe with one of your workers that was skimming from you. So did you read from the Italian Bible? Give a few verses from the.
That's funny. But what's even funnier is that when I got rid of him, I got another pizza guy to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the early 90s.
Okay.
Right. The mid 90s.
Sure.
And this pizza guy was stealing worse than the first one.
Oh man.
Yeah. And you know how I caught him? The pizzeria I had was in a neighborhood. I was next door to a school, and I had a lot of kids that used to come in there because I had the video games in there and pinball and all that stuff.
Sure.
So there was one kid who was a little wild. He was about 12 years old. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
And I would always get mad at him and throw him out. But then he'd go in the window like a puppy and beg to come back in. So I made a deal with him. I said, I'm going to give you all the pizza you could eat for you and your mom. Okay?
Okay.
And a roll of quarters at the end of the week to go to the arcade that just opened up had just opened up not too far.
Right.
And he was like, what I got to do? I said, you got to watch my workers. Sure enough, he got my pizza guy stealing.
Oh, man.
Imagine getting caught by a 12-year-old kid, grown man.
Yeah, nothing surprises me these days. That's horrible.
Yeah, all it to me was pizza.
Right. I know there's a lot of profit in pizza, but not if somebody's taking the slices for free.
Yeah, forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
They become partners without telling you.
There you go. Yeah, they're your silent partner, your silent, dishonest partner. Yeah. I thought of something else while we've been talking, and I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know if it's funny or not, but you ever been to Vegas, Sal?
No.
No, but you probably gambled on some of the boats and stuff around the New York and New Jersey area. I'm sure there's casinos Yeah. So you've seen them where they're dealing you blackjack and they're dealing you with one of those great big wooden shoes that hold several decks of cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Do you know why they started doing that?
Why?
Because early on in Vegas, people would sneak a full deck of cards into the blackjack game. And so what they would do is they would get the blackjack dealer in on it. And so, some dishonest person would come in and pay money to the blackjack dealer to, rip off the casino. And they would do it by getting their own deck of cards into the game. Sometimes the dealer would be involved. Sometimes the dealer wouldn't be involved. But since that time period, Vegas and all the other casinos, they take tons of precautions. An example would be when you get a deck of cards that have been in a casino, there's a hole drilled through them. So then they know. Yeah. So that's one way they do it. And the other way they do it is, and they do this too because people count cards. They do 5 decks of cards in one of those shoes. And the reason they did that is because it's very difficult for somebody to sneak in a whole shoe of cards and get it, into the game. So yeah. My dad was a big Vegas card guy, so I know a lot of trivia from back in the day, 70s, 80s, stuff that went on in the card days. I'm curious though, in the New York area, did Liberace ever come through?
I don't know.
No.
Wasn't my thing.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, wasn't my thing either.
I wasn't following up on Liberace.
You might get beat up for, if you made your hair long and or said,
I knew when Iron Maiden came.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm a Liberace fan either. He was just huge in Vegas. But I got to think, though, in the New York area, did you ever see Billy Joel?
Yes, I've seen Billy Joel a couple of times.
Yeah. Wow. What a great concert that must have been. Did you see him in the 80s or the 90s? Do you recall?
Yeah. Yes, I saw him a couple of times in the 80s and the 90s.
Wow. It's not funny, but God, he's one of my favorite songwriters and singers. Big fan of Billy Joel. The Piano Man. If you can't get drunk listening to the Piano Man, then you're going to be sober the rest of your life. That is a great song.
Oh, you remember his song, It's Just a Fantasy?
is that a Billy Joel song?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I'm sure I know it. I just don't maybe know the title of it.
I think it's called Fantasy.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, that guy, I mean, he can do no wrong in my book. I mean, just a phenomenal singer and songwriter, performer.
Yeah, my first concert in the 80s was Iron Maiden
Oh, okay.
and Quiet Riot.
Wow. Back in the day. Kevin Dubrow. Yeah, very familiar.
That's a long time ago.
Absolutely. Man, I still remember I was with some friends the very first time I ever heard Come On Feel the Noise.
Yeah, that's the concert I saw, I think, was called Peace of Mind. Quiet Riot opened up for them.
Okay.
They blew out the speakers.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. This was in New York.
Oh, wow. I'm trying to think what their big songs were, but Come On Feel the Noise was a big one. Health will drive you crazy, baby.
Yeah, yeah. I had a song from Billy Joel. It's called Sometimes a Fantasy.
Oh, sometimes. Okay. I'm sure I know it. But yeah, Billy Joel, just a freaking genius. And him and Christy Brinkley, man, you can't think of a bigger situation than that.
Well, I actually did a party for. She was part of a school board or PTA or something in the Hamptons.
Okay.
And I did a party for them.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, for the school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like a Western theme.
Okay. So was it for Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley?
No, it was Christy Brinkley was part of the school.
Okay.
You know, so she had something to probably for her kids or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. So she had already separated from Billy Joel at that point.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Hey, Sal, we're going to wrap this up so you can get to the rest of your evening. Man, I really appreciate you being on, sir. Hey, before we go, though, this is our time to promote. You know, if you got a website or a phone number, anything at all that you want to share with our listeners, you know, to help promote your huge business that you're doing in New York and New Jersey, please do.
Well, my company's called Katrina's International. Everybody knows me as Sal Mozzarella, right? All my social media is Sal Mozzarella or Katrina's International. All my info's there.
Sure.
You know?
Well,
so we'll all types of off-premise catering all over the place. New York, New Jersey, and even further.
Nice. Well, we'll make sure we have your links to post. And now I'll promote my business.
John Sales Warrior, and I've been professionally selling for 32 years. And I know over that time period, it can be difficult to stay motivated. You have to stay motivated come Monday morning. And that Monday morning, you need to be able to send emails, make phone calls, make the follow-up phone calls, and schedule the appointments. But more importantly, be relaxed and ask for the business and believe that you're going to get the business when you ask for it. And that little bit of time between taking action and not taking action, that's what I help with. I help with giving you the fire so you can take action. And by taking more action, you can get more results. That's what I help people do. How do I do it? Simple. I have a book on Amazon. It's called Sales Warrior. And I have a course on Teachable. It's called Sales Warrior Bootcamp Module 1. And it's a 3-day boot camp. It's a lot of fun. It includes instruction, inspiration, audio, video, and worksheets. And it's designed to be taken in 1-hour action blocks because I know it's hard for people to take 3 days to learn all my wisdom. So I made it easy. All you do is take 1 hour each day until you've completed my course. It's foundational in nature and it can be taken over and over. The great thing about my course is that once you sign up for my course, you get monthly information and inspiration from me, because I want to stay connected to you and I want to continue to inspire you. And there's no added cost to do that. Now, right now, I have my Sales Warrior Bootcamp on sale. My Sales Warrior Bootcamp is normally $399. I have it on special for $99. And with it, you get my book for free. That's it. Thanks, guys.
But man, thanks a lot for being on. I'll try to do better. So it's Amboy, New Jersey, right?
Perth Amboy.
Perth Amboy, New Jersey. I'm definitely in Texas. Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Sal, man, wonderful to have you on. So many great stories about in your catering business, in your restaurant business, in your specialty business, being a professional butcher. We probably just barely tapped into some of it, but it was greatness. And
Next time I'll tell you better ones.
All good, man. It's hard, right? It's a Monday night. Is it Monday?
Yeah.
No, it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday night. We're tired. You've been working all day. I've been working all day, but we wanted to make sure that we're consistent getting this out to the listeners. So Sal Mozzarella from Per Amboy, New Jersey, please say goodbye to everybody at Schools Out 80s.
Have a good night, everybody.
Excellent.
Nice talking to all of you.
Nice talking to all you too. So from Dallas, Texas, cheers, everybody.